Hey everybody, time for an update. We took the weekend off and did a little bit of chillaxing, and for Mother's Day we went up to Forest Park and spent some time with family and friends and the kids. Had us a nice time. So we're back on track on a Monday. I'm heading off to get some plumbing parts. I'm short one fitting for the shower valve replacement for the upstairs bathroom, so I'm heading off to go get that. I also need a tile cutting tool to make an opening for the valve to punch through the wall of the shower. So I got to get those two things, and then I'll be back and I'm going to get started on that valve replacement. We had the floor done and it's dried, so we really couldn't do anything in there while that was drying. But we did take down the plastic enclosure to keep the dust down from the sanding. That's down. So we're ready to move forward again. Steve's going to be over before too long once we give him the all clear on the floor, and he's going to permanently mount those last two peninsula cabinets, and then we'll be ready to template the countertop material. So we're moving forward today, and we're going to get some steam, head of steam back up, and we're going to get rolling on moving forward. That's the update for today. I hope you guys had an awesome weekend, and I hope you got to see the borealis lights. Those are pretty spectacular for those of you who saw them or saw pictures of them. That was a special treat for this weekend. So we'll see you guys next time. So here's what the finished valve looks like with the cold compression fittings on there. So when you see the white tape in this cap, that's the fitting that needs to be used with the cold compression PEX pipe. So I cut a hole in the wall here to get this to fit. And the way this works is this comes in from the back. You can see the compression fittings that I had to put in there. These are cold compression fittings for PEX. And what I found out is once I got this where it needed to be, there's not enough clearance between the sheetrock and the PEX pipe to get the pipe over it. So what I'm doing is I'm notching out the sheetrock. There's actually 2 layers of sheetrock in here. So I'm taking one out, so that'll give me plenty of room to get my fitting down over through there. So once I have those all notched out, I have a backer board that's going to connect to this bracket, and there's a screw that goes here and here. And that's going to screw into this board right here, and this board has some brackets that are going to screw into the 2x4s on either side of this cavity, and the valve will sit right in the middle and get fastened to that. So right now I'm working on getting these little cutouts done first, so I have room to do the fittings. Okay, I got those areas whittled out. Now I have plenty of room to get the cold compression fittings in there. Yep, that's looking good. Okay, now what I got to do is put the cross brace across, mount that to the wall, and then mount that to the valve, and then make sure everything is flush where I need it, because that little black box that faces the wall, that has to be even with the tile. So I gotta fiddle around with that a little bit. So that's what I'm gonna do next, and I'll show you how that comes out. All right, here's where I left off. I got this valve put in there. It was a little bit of a tedious job to get this in here perfectly, because it had to be flush with the tiles with those little plastic tips sticking out of there, and I had to have it centered, and I had to whittle out some space here to get the fittings. I got the covers on them so I won't get any dirt inside of that valve. But the fittings, here's a fitting that's done just into a plug. So I needed to get some space because those expansion fittings would interfere with the sheetrock. So I had to cut a little notch so I can get them things in that way. So tomorrow I'll connect it up. I don't have enough time today. I ran out of time in the day here. I got to head off to work. So everything's ready to go. The valve's all mounted. All you do is run the PEX down, up from the ceiling down in here somewhere, come up through this valve and get it all connected up. So that'll be tomorrow. I just don't have enough time to do it today, and I don't want to rush and goof anything up. So for now, I'm going to take a break. I'll finish this off tomorrow, and we should be all set. Hey everybody, I'm about halfway done with that shower valve install. It's taken a little longer than I thought. I had to do a lot of finagling and fine tuning with that valve, and there's a double thickness of sheetrock, so the valves were right up against the material, and I wouldn't have room for making connections. So I had to whittle out 4 notches in that sheetrock just so I could get the connections made. And that's normal. Back in the day, they used to put down like a base fiberboard and then plaster over top of that. So it's an extra thick wall. So a lot of the modern valves don't take that into account. So you got to do some extra maneuvering with the materials in order to get the proper clearance to get the valve to fit and to get the connections made. So I got it in there finally. I got the valve exactly where I want it. I just got to hook up the water lines, and I can get the hot and cold water supply in tomorrow with fairly easily. I might just cap the tub spigot for now because I don't feel like ripping that all apart because we haven't had the shower working for a couple of days. I want to at least get the shower head working, so I can always double back and put the little water faucet at the bottom of the bathtub. I can always do that later. So yeah, I thought it was going to be quick and easy, but like anything else that you take apart in an old house, you always run into surprises. So I'm just taking my time, doing it thoroughly and carefully and meticulously so that I don't have a goof up or paint myself into a corner. So we should be up and running again by tomorrow if everything goes smoothly, and we all know how that's going to go. So be a bird bath probably tonight when I get home, and we'll hope for the best on that shower in the afternoon. Okay, take care everybody.